Hello everyone. So today we would be discussing about the topic of SAP Memory Management for ABAP with Linux host. Now, first let us discuss about the OS part. This is my Linux host. It has two things. One is RAM, which is your actual memory, and another thing is swap. Swap is not your RAM part, it is a part of your hard disk. So that's why if your system is using too much swap, it's not good because it uses some part from your hard disk as a memory, and the read write operation on hard disk is slower than RAM. Now we will not consider about this one here. We will only talk about RAM. So as soon as your OS gets built, before installing SAP system, your OS has two things. One is OS processes, which is OS inbuilt code processes that would be using some kind of a memory, and then the rest of the memory is called buffer and cache. If you install your SAP system, your SAP install system would be a part of this buffer and cache, not of the actual OS processes. So this is where your SAP system would run. So if you assign any memory to SAP system, it would be assigned from buffer and cache. To check the memory allocation in OS level, the command is free-g. It shows the memory allocation in gigabytes. Now, with free-g, you would see the total memory, which is this complete OS memory or your RAM. Next, you would see the memory which is allocated uh, or in this buffer cache, and the part of the buffer cache which is free. So, how you would come to understand what is your free memory? So, free memory would be the part of the buffer cache which is not yet used by any of the buffer cache, and the part of the buffer cache which is free to reuse. So it will basically show you total memory. It will show you the use memory or the buffer cache memory. It will also show you those buffer cache memory amount which is free. So if you have to calculate your total free memory, it is the so free memory would be at OS would be shared plus free buffer. Just a second. Shared plus free buffer plus free cache plus free total. So this combined would give you the free memory which your this constitutes on the OS, and from this SAP can use.
Okay, so now let us discuss about
So this concept is
today's
very
topic
important.
with ABAP Memory Management, and for that we will consider the analogy of library management system. So we will consider ABAP Memory analogy with library. Now suppose there is one library, and here are the bookshelves. One minute, yeah. So suppose there is one library and here are the bookshelves. This bookshelves contain book. Now these books are of different sizes. Some books are smaller, some books are larger. So these all are books with different sizes and different genre. And to run this library, what should I need? I need one librarian. So I have created one librarian here. He is my librarian who would be running this library. Librarian. Okay. And there is this librarian. Then I need desk for readers to read. So these are desk for reader to read. Reader desk where they can sit and read, and every desk can only accommodate one big book. And so one big book, or this space is restricted, so it can either accommodate one big book or three small books. So books of different sizes, but it depends like on the book size, how many books it can accommodate. If you keep one large book, then it can only accommodate one. If you keep small books to read simultaneously, you can accommodate like 2 to 3 books. Now this is reader desk. Once readers have read all this, they would be putting books in certain places, and that has to be cleaned up. Then the whole library has to be managed. So we have some admin desk also. So these are my admin desk, which are again having a restricted space. Like every admin desk can only accommodate some books, similar to my reader books as reader desk. So they can also accommodate one large book or many multiple small books. So suppose the size of this reader desk, of one reader desk, the size is mentioned as 10 MB. So they can only accommodate 10 MB from this. Like one reader disk can only accommodate 10 MB of storage, where it could be like every book is assigned a storage. Suppose this book is assigned a size of 2 MB. This book is assigned a size of 3 MB. So this book is larger than this one. So if I want to attend in 10 MB, I can keep uh, two of these books and two of these books. That will make 10 MB. And after that, I cannot keep more book here to read. I would be requiring more of desk as a reader to read. Similar for the admin desk. So we have this as a admin desk. This is my admin desk. Now, what how this would work? So suppose one user who is coming into the library to read books, user A, went to librarian. So there in the library counter there are small pockets, small storage area. So what would my reader A do? My reader will first put my library card here, put my library card in this pocket. My librarian would check this library card if he is assigned or not, and he would check in the system if he is allowed to access this library or not, what is his membership, what is it, a privileged user or non-privileged user. So he would check all this. This part where my librarian is checking all this data is called roll-in area. And this storage is actually called roll-in. And this uh, checking of all this library card and other details for user authorization and user identity, we call it as user context. Now once this has been checked, my librarian said, okay, now you are allowed to enter into the library and read the books from bookshelf, but you need to sit on one desk and read, and that desk can only accommodate a book of size 10 MB, and you can keep multiple books or one big book of 10 MB. Suppose this is a big book of 10 MB. So if it is keep using this book to read, he can only keep one book in his desk. If he is using this small books, he can use four books in his desk. So now my reader is reading it. Once this is getting assigned, so what is this complete area called? This is complete area is called my extended memory, and each and every desk is the extended memory quota for this specific user. So my now user can use the extended memory quota or only the reader desk which is assigned to it, which is of 10 MB, and he can utilize the books of different sizes to run its operations or to read it or to make notes. Or in other way, my dialog user can utilize the extended memory quota which is been assigned to it to run one big program or multiple small program, that depends. So this part is my extended memory. Now this is done. So my extended memory, suppose the user has used my complete extended memory or this reader desk is full. It is requesting the librarian, I need to read one more book. I need some extra space. Or the books which I am reading, once it's the space is not sufficient enough for me to sit and write notes. I require some extra space. So my librarian will say, okay, no issues. I can assign you some space from this admin desk. So what is this admin desk? This admin desk is my heap memory. Out of this complete heap memory, it is saying to the user that I have certain storage space left or certain desk empty where you can sit and then you can make your notes if you require some extra space. So he is saying, okay, that would work with me. Then my librarian said, go and take this desk and use it. So user can only use this part of my complete heap memory. And what is this called? This is called heap limit. Once it has exhausted this part, it would be out of the system, or it would not be able to read any more books in the library, and it will be have to exit the library once this all is exhausted. So that's how the ABAP memory allocation process works. So once a dialog user enters into your SAP system, it is checked against the user context and a memory assigned to it called roll in, where it's all the authorization is checked. Then it is assigned a work desk area where it can run its program, some kind of memory assignment to it within which it can run its all programs, one big program or multiple program, which is called extended. If it requires more extra memory to run or complete its execution, it would be assigned heap memory, which would be abap heap area underscore dia for the dialog work processes, and that can only be used until this limit of heap limit. Once this heap limit is reached, it would be executed out of the system. So that's how it works in case of dialog work process. Okay, so now suppose in the case of background user, what happens? So this is my librarian. We have heap area which is restricted only for admins. 1 minute, let me write it correctly. Heap area for admins. Okay, so who are the admins? The background users who are doing all the kind of admin job or the library staffs. Now they have been provided some space which is again up to the limit of abap heap limit. Now this my non dialog users are utilizing this space, or my admin is utilizing this space to do some tasks. Suppose there are new books which have arrived. Now their task is to check these books, arrange it in the shelf based on their storage capacity. And now they are working on this task. Now these background users, once they have exhausted their limit, they require some more extra storage space. So what would they would do? When do this admin task run? This admin task is running either in parallel or during the non office hours when my library is already closed. Suppose from 12 to 4 library is open, and after 4 p.m. till 8 p.m. they are doing admin task. So they have some set of desk allocated here also, which is my extended memory or extended area where my readers used to come and sit. Similarly, they have also some storage space allocated here also, where they can utilize this space so that they can complete their task and then arrange these books in the shelf. Dialog, we have seen first it was extended and then it was heap. For background, it is opposite. First it is heap and then it is extended. And when my dialog or background work process will give a memory dump or a memory exhaustion issue or a termination of the program, once it has exhausted its own extended memory and then it has exhausted its heap memory to the limit of heap limit, ABAP heap limit, then this will get exhausted. Similarly, for the background work process, once my heap has been used and my extended limit has been used, it will get exhausted. What are the other situations in which it will get exhausted? So suppose this heap area, all these desks are already occupied by someone working on it. I don't have this space, and admin, one of the admin needs to do some cleanup. It is not able to do. It is not able to because there is no desk for him to work. So what it will do? It will directly come here and start working on this one because this is free. So it will be able to work in this one in whatever the capacity the storage is provided here. Once this is exhausted, then also it will get kicked out of the system, or it would not be having any extra space to use. Meaning, if my heap is already occupied by different work processes, then I have my extended available. So background will directly jump into extended and will use it. It will not give us an error that heap area is not there, so I cannot start. It will directly use it from the extended. And suppose this heap and extended both is completely occupied, then it will be having no memory to work process. So what it would do? My background work process will go into a delay mode, mentioning there are no resources available to process it. And after a certain amount of delay, it will dump that there was no memory or resources available to initiate the process. So while checking on the performance issue, we have to understand the flow, whether it's a dialog or it's a background work process. If it's a dialog work process, we will check on this part that whether it's failing on the extended, whether it's failing on the heap. If it's background, we will check the opposite way. Now, what are the parameters? Let's talk about the parameters.
Okay, so what are the parameters? So first one is my extended memory. How is my extended memory governed or checked? Like how what is the area which I can assign to my extended memory? So for every dialog user there is a extended memory quota, which is my role underscore extension underscore dia. And then for the heap memory again there is a quota which is heap underscore memory underscore dia. And in case of non dialog work process, this changes to heap memory non dia and then role extension non dia. And to what limit? What is the limit for this one? The limit for this one is heap limit. Once the heap limit is reached, it will be finished. It will be completed. That's about today's session. If you have any issues or if you want me to make video on any special topic, just put it in the comments and I would be feel free to answer it. And when you have time, just click on the bell icon on the top so that you get notified about all the recent videos. Thank you.